Hello, I'm Cassandra Donnelly from Creative Passages. I'm a mixed media artist from Norfolk, Virginia, and today I want to show you how I created this beautiful journal cover. The journal's from Dollar General, but I decided that I wanted to make it my own by just decorating it, and so I used collage and alcohol inks and some materials and scraps and painter pens and metallic markers, etc., etc. I use stencils and maybe some stamps, but you're going to watch me create this. I'm very pleased with it. Took me over an hour to do it, maybe close to 2 hours. So I am going to be speeding through this, but you'll hear me sort of like tell you about it at the beginning, and then I'm going to fast forward. So stay tuned, and I hope you'll enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to create, and I was like, this could be something I buy in the store. I would choose this journal. So I was very happy with the results. Doesn't look like a painting necessarily, but it does look like a really nice decorative cover for the journal. Alright, stay tuned. So I'm here in the art studio, and I thought I would paint this journal I got from Dollar General. It's an art journal, and I got it for like $5. And the cover looked like this, which was pretty in and of itself, but I just want to make it my own. So I covered it with black gesso. Oh, maybe it's still wet. I dried it for sure, both sides. Anyway, so I've made a bit of a mess, but I'm kind of losing patience. And I'm not 100% feeling good. I'm feeling slightly nauseous. I think it's just acid reflux. So I'm gonna go ahead and do art anyway. And yeah, that must still be wet, but I gotta move on. So let's see. I don't even know what I want, what colors I want to paint with. And I might try some Distress Oxide inks and do a little collage perhaps. How about we start with Essentials Complexion Pink. And I don't have a plan. I just want to play and have fun. I should probably have a little more colors on here. That shows up nice on the black. I've never used the black well, I used it once, but I've never used it for a full painting before. That's kind of cool. I like that. Bumpy texture right there. Who knows, I may even get out some textures, paste or, you know, something like that. You know what, I feel like it needs some red. Let's get out the red. This is just craft paint. I feel like I might have to fast forward on this, so I'm just going to show you each thing that I add. It takes me a long time. Alright, so you see me adding now some red craft paint, and now I'm adding the golden crimson color. And I'm just kind of mixing all up in there. So I'm sort of feeling like the red, white, and pink, added white obviously. And I'm not sure I can tell you exactly every color that I added, but I'm primarily, for this first coat of paint, sticking with hues of red. And obviously I'm not very concerned about what brand of paint I use. Sometimes I use a craft paint, sometimes I use a golden paint. That dark crimson color is a golden, the rest is the craft paint. So now I want to add some collage. So I just got my base coat on, and this collage that I'm adding right here is a jelly print that I made that I really like. And so I'm adding more of that jelly print right there, which had a lot of details on it. You know, I used stencils and stamps for the jelly print after I used the gel plate. So then I also added that thing from Ezekiel 48, which was a printout of the manuscript on Ezekiel 48. And now I'm adding, it's hard to see, I think I'm adding some paper I made a long time ago. It's kind of like some crinkly paper that I found in my cabinet. This is another collage. So I'm getting out different papers. These are all Mama Gummy papers. And those are my Sumi ink papers. And obviously I want to use a lot of them. So this is primarily going to be like Mama Gummy and Sumi ink that I'm using for this, which I think is kind of cool. Now that, was my Mama Gummy paper. I have a printout. This also was Mama Gummy paper, and I think it's that same printout, if I'm not mistaken. And so this was another Mama Gummy paper, I believe. And that was that one piece that was calling out to me in the last video. I decided to finally use it. I think it was left over for when I made the Mama Gummy flowers. So now we got more Mama Gummy paper that I'm adding. And most of these Mama Gummy papers I made on the gel plate with Distress Oxide inks and acrylics. So now I'm adding my Sumi ink papers, and there's videos about, the Mama Gummy papers and also the Sumi ink papers that I made. And what I really like about this particular journal cover is that I was able to incorporate these papers into something really cool. And especially the Sumi ink, that was so experimental, and you can see here, they were just so weird looking. I used weird objects, but yet I think it really, really makes a cool collage fodder, and I like the look of it incorporated into this journal cover. So more Mama Gummy papers. And like I said, I'm primarily using mostly the Mama Gummy papers, and sometimes I just kind of flip my collage papers, over to the other side. And this might just be scrapbooking paper I'm adding here. I can't remember exactly. Or maybe it is my, I don't think that pink one, the dusty pink, was my Mama Gummy, but I'm not positive. More Mama Gummy papers. And that's just another piece of old artwork, I think, that I ripped that I'm using. And more Mama Gummy paper right there. And see how fast it is? Don't you wish we could make art that fast? Actually, maybe it wouldn't be fun if we made art that fast. More Mama Gummy. That one's kind of like a green and golden color. That's pretty cool. More Mama Gummy paper. More Mama Gummy paper. Okay, now I want to add some more paint, and I love gold, but I kind of mixed it in there with the red, so I've got it like a reddish gold. So now what I want to do is sort of cover over the edges to incorporate them a little bit to make it look more cohesive instead of just separate segments. And I think I end up doing this really successfully, so I'm just, like I said, going over those edges and blending them in. Adding more gold. Because I love gold. And I'll add to it. And I'm adding a little bit of black because I want to incorporate the Sumi ink and sort of extend them so, like I said, it looks more cohesive. And I'm just getting kind of bold, wild, and free, and adding my own brush strokes and just having fun and getting loose. And yeah, sometimes when you start, you're a little stiff, and then once you get into it, you start to get a little loose. Okay, so now I want to use my alcohol inks, and this was inspired by the Kitchen Counter Abstract artist, and she used alcohol inks on her journal pages over top of acrylics. And also she had a whole video about her journals, and she would paint on her journal covers, so I could attribute this video, this idea, to her. So I'll put her name below. So when you put alcohol inks over top of acrylics, it does not quite work the same as if you were doing on the regular Yopo paper. but it still looks cool. You just have to realize that the colors aren't going to mix the same way, and you're not going to get those full, like, as cool of effects. But this is like the gold. It looks like a thing you can buy for your alcohol inks, that gold filler. I'm not really sure what you call it, but I like that, and it really stands out nice. And so now I'm drying it all, and of course I use that puffy thing to just kind of make my alcohol inks go different places and spread out in cool ways. So now I'm drying it. So now I'm just trying to adhere things a little bit better, and I'm not sure what glue I'm using for this. I prefer my cellulose glue, but sometimes I don't have it on hand, and so I'll just use some Mod Podge or something like that. But I always want to, if I don't start off with the cellulose glue, I want to finish with it, because I believe that when you use it, things don't stick as much in your journal, like your pages don't stick together. And so that's why it really comes in handy for doing journal work, and like if you make a collage, especially if you use the Mod Podge, it'll make it so it's not sticky and your pages won't stick together anymore. I'm really liking it so far, so much so that I'm a little afraid of doing anything else to it. It looks decorative. It doesn't look like a piece of art, but it's a cover, so I'm not sure it should. I'm thinking I need to add a little bit more to it, but like I said, I'm a little bit afraid because it's really cool looking. And I'm liking it now. Yeah, I think it's super cool looking. So let's see. I gotta be brave. It needs more contrast, maybe a focal point. I don't know. It needs just a little bit more, I think. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Needs something. I'm thinking white gel pen, gold Posca pen, metallic colored pens. I don't know. Let's start with this. These things work pretty well. So I'm using the metallic markers right now, and also a black Sharpie pen. I added a gold metallic and now that black Sharpie. What I'm trying to do with the black Sharpies is kind of play off the lines in Sumi ink papers that I have, and kind of extend some of the lines from the Sumi ink papers into the rest of the journal, so it'll be more integrated. So that is what I'm doing, and actually I'm kind of pleased with how that part turned out as well, because it almost looks just like the Sumi ink, and now I added more of that gold alcohol ink, and I think I also just added some distress spray, and now I'm using the gold Posca pen. And the black Sharpie. And now the gold Posca pen again. Taking a look at to see what it needs. I decide that it needs more gold, so that's what I'm adding now back to the black Sharpie, extending some of those Sumi ink lines, and also trying to create a little bit of shadow and depth into the fine lines that I've already have on this journal cover. Again, I'm going back over some of the gold and creating sort of a shadow with the black Sharpie, and just more visual interest. And now I'm going back over it. I think I'm using a white jelly pen, because I thought it needed a little bit of contrast between the black. Now I'm adding oil pastels to this, and I love oil pastels. They're one of my favorites. They're my go-to. And I'm more proficient with them, I think. And so if I need like certain colors, or I need to just kind of pull the color scheme in the different directions, oil pastels are a way to go. And I just thought maybe it needed to brighten up a little bit. And I think I'm trying to, no, that's my, that is my metallic gold marker. So I'm adding more of the gold. And now I'm adding a pink metallic marker. And now I'm just smearing a little bit of the oil pastels and adding more. Also, I'm adding sort of a purplish color right here. More of a like a lighter pinkish purple color. And now I'm adding a black oil pastel to give it more depth and shadow. And create more visual spaces. And now I'm going back in with the red paint, the sort of like the crimson color paint from Golden.
That's what it looks like so far. Okay, so I need to figure out what I need to do to it. And I'm thinking just a few stencils with Distress Oxide ink. Yeah, but the ink pad. Alright, I grabbed a bunch of stencils, including this, which was like where you wrap your onions or something. So, I got a bunch of ink. And I'm not sure I like it, so I want to try it out on just wax piece of paper first. Because I want something sort of, I can't tell. Let's try it right here. I don't think it does anything, so let's put this right here. That'll look kind of cool.
So now I'm using the Seedless Preserved Distress Oxide ink through this particular stencil. So now I'm going to add some Picket Fence Distress Spray Stain through that stencil, and that's one of my favorite stencils. And I got too much down, so I'm just wiping it up. This is more of the gold alcohol ink, which I love. I'm using that puffy thing to blow it out. And now I want to add some of my newer Salty Ocean Distress Oxide ink through that stencil. That's a really pretty color. I thought it just needed a pop of blue. Complement the purple. And now I'm adding more oil pastels and more metallic markers and more distress sprays. That was white picket fence. It's actually a stain.
I think it's almost done. What it needs is a few more shadows on these white and golds with the Sharpie. And then I think it needs some kind of like focal point, like right here, maybe a little item, because it just looks like everything's just kind of coming out from that center. And I really like this part, so I'm liking it. I don't think I messed it up, but I'll have to look at it and compare. Tell me you work. Tell me you work. I mean, because it was pretty before, but it's definitely more interesting now. It has more, you know, details and things like that. These, you know, these little lines will draw your attention, and it's got like the kind of the mood. It's kind of like whimsical, mysterious. Yeah, I like the colors of it. I love the colors of it. This might end up being a cool collage piece eventually. If I could ever get this to work right. I just like just a little bit of extra shadow on these lines here. It makes them so much cooler. Because I love these little lines, these little details here. Oh yeah, and I want to put black here. See the bumps? I think if I put a black oil pastel there, it'll be so cool. So I want to do that. Bring that out. And I like how these lines are just veiled just a little bit. Too. I really like, I might even like, I don't know. I like both sides. This almost seems like it needs something, but I don't know. Like, I thought about white dots, but it might be too much. It might, yeah, it might draw your attention there. So, well, I said I wanted to do black oil pastel right here. So let's do the black. Because I think that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. Okay, let's do it over here. Ah, ha, ha. That is what I wanted. Yes. Okay. Oh, right here. I love that. Okay. Do we need it anywhere else? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. That is what it needed. Yes. We need that. We gotta look. Now, needs something right here, I think, but I'm a little afraid. Alright, I'm thinking about adding this, but I don't know, I'm just playing around at this moment. And I thought I would cut it out and see, this was like jewelry that got donated to me. What a mess. Alright, there it is. I decided I need to get a good scan before I put the self-leveling gel on, because self-leveling gel will make it really shiny. But, and I could leave it like this, but the self-leveling gel will protect it a little bit more. I didn't mean to zoom in that much, but because if it's going to be a journal, you know, that I'm going to use all the time, then it'll be good to have it like be waterproof. And that's what I like about the self-leveling gel. So yeah, I decided to go with something that is not, I didn't like those little leaves. Something more gentle, less dominating. I am happy with this. I think it's super cool. Definitely gonna get a scan of this, both sides. It looks like I could have bought it at like a store, you know, like an art store. Let's see if I, there we go. There's a little bit of shadow in here, so I'll take another picture or video of it after I get the self-leveling gel on. Well, here are the scanned versions of my journal cover. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really enjoy making them and having you here.
be blessed and have a great day. And if you like this video, be sure to like it and maybe consider subscribing. I've got other great videos. So go check them out. Bye!